Alright, let's go and get started. Howdy howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out a pretty interesting title that came out a couple of months ago. This being about November 28th, 2024. This is Enigma of Fear. This is a game I actually picked up during the winter sale, and I did just now got around to playing through it a little bit here in the beginning. And I gotta be honest, this is actually probably one of the most interesting titles I've played in a good long while, and you'll understand why whenever we jump into it. If you're not familiar with what Enigma of Fear is about, it is about a girl named Mia, and she's after her father who went missing, going to investigate something paranormal in this area called the Perimeter that shouldn't exist in this area. It's currently being run by a cult called the Cult of Fear, who's looking into something called the Enigma of Fear. They believe it's an actual thing, a god or something, and you're going to investigate and see what's going on, because there's a lot of disappearances happening there as well. So you and a team of friends are going out to figure out what happened. So I'm going to jump in for this a little bit. I hope you like the content, and I hope you stay till the end, because I really feel like this game has something special if you manage to get into it, because there's a lot of weird things about this game that stand it apart from basically the other fodder in the genre, essentially. So here at the start, even I'm going to show you right here, I'm actually going to be using some mouse gameplay from occasionally, but for the most part we're going to be using a controller just to showcase what this is about. So even when we begin, you're going to see this symbol here in the background, but there's going to be no indicator the game started. Matter of fact, the only thing that we have going on is just our ability to deduce that something is happening. And right at the bat, I'm going to go ahead and see we have 3 symbols here, and they seem to be splotched in blood. So maybe that's what we need to choose. So we're going to go ahead and pick those symbols, and their main symbol in the middle is going to light up, and so we're going to hit that. And that's literally how you start the game. It's a very interesting way to start the game. And you're basically going to start the game every single time, just like that.
Come here. I know you're scared, but we will find him. Together, okay? Let's go, Big Head.
Alright, so the funny thing is that dog says his name is Loopy, but anytime we actually talk with this dog, I believe at some point in time they actually call him Samuel. Which is kind of weird. I think we'll actually see that pop up a little bit later. So you can see one of the first defining features of the game is it's got this pixel 3D art style that I really truly do love. And we'll go ahead and talk to our 2 teammates here.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's Samuel, never mind.
Thanks for coming, Sam.
Nah, it's cool. No need to thank me. Yo, Verity may be badass and all, yeah? But leaving out in the blue just like that? And still leaving you that creepy letter? You still have it, right?
Yeah, he knew I was coming for him, and he tried to stop me. My dad knows me well.
Anyway, just be careful out there, okay, Mia? A bunch of Order agents went missing about 20 years ago. I even wanted to help you scout around here, but you know me, right? Fighting ain't my thing.
Yeah, I know. But just you being here will help me a lot. So do you think we can talk to each other by radio, since no cell phone works here and all?
From what little I found out about this place, I saw that the Order brought a bunch of transmission equipment when they came to investigate here. But that was a long time ago. It's pretty old, but maybe it still works. So, if you find that equipment, maybe you can tune the radio and talk to me or Agatha, alright? Then, if you're lost or want an opinion, just talk to us. Unless you're trying to be like Verity and do everything on your own. But that's up to you. Whatever.
I'm not on my own.
Alright, so that way, we're done talking to our friend Samuel. By the way, whenever they say Verity, they're actually speaking about her father. And we'll go speak to our friend Agatha.
So, ready to find the old man?
I know you insisted on coming with us, Agatha, but you better stay with Samuel. Leave the exploration to me.
I know. Verity already told me not to get into fights. He keeps saying that I'm inexperienced, that I can't be messing with rituals and the occult all the time, and all that nonsense of his. I mean, that was before he left.
Yeah, but we will.
But since I won't be able to kill anyone, at least you can count on me if you need to ask anything about the occult.
I have a feeling that I'll probably need it.
Alright, so we'll move on. So yeah, Agatha is basically our cult expert, and Samuel is basically our tech expert. With that, we're going to go ahead and venture down the path, and we're going to work our way towards the house, which is where our first destination is. And over here, if we look at this, we can go ahead and inspect this car over here, and in the driver's seat, we can find the driver's license of our father, a Verity. You can even do cool things like turn it around. I love the fact that you can 3D utilize like all the evidence you find for the most part. Even the cooler feature is you can actually shine a black light on it, and sometimes there might be hidden messages that you'll find on the stuff. You can even, when you leave out of here, walk around with the black light on if you so choose, which is pretty nice. You can swap between the two things. It looks like we have new dialogue. We'll talk to our dog. Oh, it tells us we wants to swap to our dog, so we're going to swap to him. We can click in with the right stick if you're using a controller. There aren't really any controller prompts on screen, but then we're just going to pop open this door with Loopy, our dog.
Okay. I hate to admit it, but that was pretty clever.
That being said, you cannot get very far from Loopy because of the fact that he is so tuned to paranormal, because, you know, animals are, that he actually suffers from a little bit of a sanity break if he gets too close to monsters in general. Alright, so if we work our way up here, we'll see that the door is boarded up, so we need to find a way in. Let's see if we can do just that. So we work our way around the side of the house. Oh, we do have a gun as well. That's important to know. If we hold down on the left trigger, we can shoot with the right trigger. So basic shooting mechanics there. Because it's top down, we can even just move around like this and aim in different directions. And it looks like we have ourselves a crowbar over here at the table. We're going to go pick that up. And if we walk up to the enemy after we shoot him, we can actually down him with the X button. This is also to change weapons. Basically, for me, it's going to be left on the bumper, or left bumper, essentially. And that'll allow me to pull out our crowbar. And I can break things, boxes and stuff, and get more things like more ammo. So it's definitely worth breaking anything and everything you can. And we also have ourselves a med kit and more ammo. I believe I saw something else over there. There we go. We can even swap back to our gun to make sure we reload. And we'll go ahead and pull out our crowbar again. Looks like we can't go any further in here. Oh, cool thing is we can actually press options here and open up our touchpad, and essentially we have a little mental image of the area we're in. Whenever the room is just like a standard black color right here, it means there's still stuff to find, and as you uncover all the evidence in the area, it'll actually turn green. You'll come back, Verity. The Enigma of Fear. If I solve it, the god of fear shall be among us. We can even turn the page over, and if we shine our black light on it, we can even see hidden messages like, only you can do this. Is there anything on the other side? No, there isn't. Was that everything in here? The room turned green, which means we have found everything in the room and we can move on. So we'll go back upstairs and see. Oh, you can actually cycle through stuff with the right bumper. That's pretty cool. We'll go back upstairs with our newfound crowbar. And with our newfound crowbar, we should be able to open up the front door because it was boarded up earlier. Oh, there is a monster down there, but we can't avoid him, and we just move on. And we are officially inside the house. The cool thing is, once we're inside the house, we can also have a mental image of where we're at. We never have to pick up any maps or anything like that. And as we pick up clues in the house, we can interact with things in real time. So we have a tape recorder here. If I zoom in on it, I can actually move around and interact with stuff, black light shining and stuff like that. We can even listen to the recording.
Agent Callisto Bassett, finishing my initial investigation on the Straw family. All right, let's do this. Starting with their hermit-like behavior. The records I found show that every single generation of the Straws has lived in isolation from the rest of society. which means they basically lived in a bubble with their own set of laws and some bizarre cult that worships fear. This obsession seems to have stemmed from some mysterious paranormal revelation involving a specific symbol hundreds of years ago. The symbol is known as the Mark of Fear. Yeah, it's the symbol that's all over this place. And because of this family's obsession with the very concept of fear, the member of the Straw family who was the most feared by the others would hold the position of a leader. Wait, we're out of coffee?
Callisto, it's 3 in the morning.
Sophia, you drank all the coffee, didn't you?
You drank it all yourself.
Therefore, the most terrible member of the Straw family would force the others to do their bidding because of fear. Sophia believes that the trauma of a child growing up in such an environment is simply incalculable. This explains what she and Verity found when they arrived at this mansion. But things will get better. The Order will take care of everything. I will take care of everything. Yeah, but first, I'm gonna make more coffee.
And I really do like little bits like that that add to the lore of the game. I'm not entirely sure why exactly there are tape recordings everywhere, because I'm not entirely sure there's a house, but I guess as the paranormal investigators, they might be dealing with something else. Alright, so we investigated everything. In this room, this over here should be a bathroom. Is there anything in here? We got a health kit, and it doesn't look like anything weird other than just terrible, terrible wallpaper choices. Looks like we have a message here. Remember the blind spot behind slowly without being noticed. It's the best way. So we do have a monster in this room, but if we actually click in the left stick, we can actually choose to sneak up on him. And as he wakes up, we can hit the X button and immediately execute him. So now we have one less enemy to worry about. The god Fear is watching after all this time. The prophecy of the unhaunted one will come true. All the pillars have been completed. The Enigma of Fear will be solved. The god of Fear will bring about the other ending. So, and it looks like now, see, now I can only wait. Alright, so there we got a clue, or a document here, and a really crude drawing of a family. We turn a black light on. Do we see anything else? Nothing so much. What do we have here? It looks like we have ourselves some eyeballs. Black light doesn't reveal anything. It's always worth showing your black light on stuff just in case. We got another tape recording.
Verity, evidence report. We managed to restore another recording of a man from the Straw family. I believe this was the man who was already dead when we arrived. The other audio will be passed on to you by your sister. She wants to better analyze the moment we arrived here. Listen to the recording, and then tell me what you found.
What is the greatest fear of all? The things I've done for this damn family. The purpose of the straws. What are you doing here? You filthy mole. Sorry. You still have a lot of work to do out there. Get out. After that failure that Goliath has become, I almost gave up. But this time, there's something different. When I look at her, it's as if he's already staring back at me. The god of fear.
Alright, so that recording is already over. And I believe Goliath might actually be one of the family, the leaders of the family. We got a guy in there. Let's turn our flashlight on so we can get a better view of him. I'm gonna see if he walks by us. We might have to get into a fight with him. I'm hoping he doesn't walk through these doors. Alright, he's walking away, so maybe we have a chance of sneaking up on him. Alright, so he's dead. And then we can come in here and we can investigate stuff. From what I can remember, there isn't much in this room to investigate that's going to help us. We can pick up more ammo. We can investigate the nasty food in the refrigerator if we so choose. But I think it's just going to be better to move on here. There is a recording here. But I think we're going to skip recording on. You kind of got the idea of what the recordings are like whenever we listen to the crew here. But if you want to, go ahead and 100% the game as far as like map completion or whatever. You definitely want to investigate things like the fridge, the recording stuff, anything that might actually give you a keen idea of what's going on if you want the backstory and lore of what's going on. You even have like clipboards full of information going on throughout the house. It looks like, oh, the God of Fear is watching. Trying to see if maybe there's a hidden object anywhere. That'd be pretty cool to find a couple of items. Because there are artifacts throughout the game. That door is locked. We're not going to be able to get in there. Let's go ahead and take the one door we can take. We're going to go duck, because I don't know if that guy is alive or not. He is, and we're just going to go ahead and beat his head in. And we found an agent file for Callisto Basat. I believe Callisto Basat may have been one of the original team members that went missing according to the story. And we still have some blood splatter, and I believe this leads back into the living room. Yes. Then we also have ourselves. Oh, what do we got? The Rise of the Unhaunted One. The God of Fear is coming. And it looks like here we have ourselves a map of the house that we're currently in. You can see over here on the left side of the house with that little weird clock symbol in the middle in the storage room. That's currently where we're at. Then there's also the upstairs that has the bedrooms for Goliath, Theana, Yuri, and Abraham. There also seems to be a basement. We actually made it to the basement. We made it to the workshop in order to get our crowbar. And yeah, we already looked at that book. So right here we also have old radio equipment we can use to actually get in contact with Samuel and Agatha.
Mia, it's working. Can you hear me?
Seems like everything is okay. Wow, we can really use this equipment for long-distance communication.
What's up? Found the old man yet?
Don't you think that's the first thing she would have said?
Point taken.
You don't need to say over.
All right, you guys stay tuned. Whenever I'm in a place and I need to talk to you about it, I'll contact you by radio.
Cool.
Will do. Over.
You don't need to say over.
I like it better that way.
If we need to, this is a good place for us to talk as well, Big Head.
Alright, so we'll go and leave. And if we walk over to this carpet, I believe our dog Loopy, who is currently stuck for whatever reason in that one spot, will actually sometimes occasionally sit in this. So we can actually pet the good dog and give him some of his sanity back. Alright, so the next thing to tackle in this room is actually going to be this door right here. As you can see, this door seems to have a series of locks here. And we can actually move the symbols around like that. So now we got to figure out how to essentially unlock this door. Using the clues in the room, though, we have a pretty good idea. If we look at this map here, zoom in over on the right side, it looks like there are 3 clues for that lock. It looks like there's one in a hallway, one in Theana's bedroom, and one in Yuri's room. And it more or less gives you the direct location for where those hints are at. So we're going to go check those out. So we'll follow the blood spatter upstairs. And hopefully we can figure out the solution fairly quickly. So we are upstairs. I do see we have one enemy. Let's see how he gets up and get the drop on him. There we go. There's one enemy. Very well, that's going off. So we can actually turn this down. And I want to actually move away because it looks like we have a monster on the loose down there. And luckily he didn't see us. The alarm clock going off definitely could have been a little bit spooky-ish. So where's he at? Oh, he's walking away. Let's see if we can get a drop on him. Alright. So it looks like we have access to this room. It's a very creepy room. Looks like Goliath, I believe that's whose room this is, was really into the his grandma and eyes. Just more eyes. Alright. Let's go ahead and head back over here, and it seems as though we have ourselves also grandfather clock. And if we shine our black light on it, we'll actually get a codex for symbols tied to each number. That's definitely going to be useful here in a minute. Got a picture here in the hallway. Nothing with a black light. Nothing going on through this door. Another photo of a very unhappy family. The possible paranormal source, fragile membrane. The paranormal within the perimeter exists at an insanity level I have never seen before. Countless corpses of the region are transformed into blood zombies as a result. The Strauss Vision, an event that is directly connected to the rise of the Unhaunted One, seems to have sparked paranormal behavior and expertise in the family. Investigate the music that plays in one of the rooms. There's something hidden in that castle in the room with the clocks. In another entrance, the door locks by itself. The diary also looks important. Mysterious door with a blank. I'm assuming this is advanced lock. Leave this to Sophia and Verity. Alright, the exact time when the Strauss had the vision. So one of the clues is a clock. And in here we're going to go and check out this room as well. Every second fades in fame. Let's see. Usually if you want to go through all this, you can. You can even take the moment to pause, but most of the stuff is going to tell you what to do. Will actually give you some sort of clue whenever you shine a black light on it, from what I can tell so far. So if we come over here to the desk, it's got a journal. Now if I open this up, you can see a whole bunch of pages here. They got a whole bunch of information. Then if we look at this, they had a section circled here. And even then, the repetition of this stupid routine does not change. The damn alarm went off, and she just kept on playing the song until the end. And then over here, it's off screen a little bit, but thanks to that very second was rendered eternal. So definitely that clock in the living room is definitely worth checking out. But if we remember our information when we were looking at that map downstairs about where the different stuff was, we know that there was a clue right about here. There's a clue right about here where the alarm clock is, and there's a clue right about here. So we're going to check out something over here in this corner, which is the room we're in. So if I move over here, we're going to find ourselves a little diorama of a place I'm assuming is the Spiral Castle that's they talk about. And if we look right here at the front of this diorama, we're going to find ourselves a hidden compartment. And it's got a cool thing in here. It's got some drawing that's actually really done well. Very artsy. And it looks like it's a drawing for Yuri. Nice. And then if we go down even further, we can investigate this clue. Now, when we're investigating clue, this stuff comes in real handy. So if you notice, the hands on this clock, the minute and the hour hand, are broken. The second hand is pretty much stuck where we're at, so we're going to remember that one. So for our second hand, we've got it stuck on the 11. It's a very important thing to remember. That is going to be our first clue. For the second clue, we definitely need to figure out this one over here. And it seems as though the alarm goes off at 4. And that is going to be our hour, essentially. So right now we have 4 and for our first number and 11 for our third number. But we need to figure out what's for the minutes. Now we go through here and start looking out for a while. Looks like there's a clue on the wall. Like music. And there seems to be something wrong with this wall. We can actually go ahead and hit this. And we're not going to be able to fit under that. But if we control Loopy, he can actually go in this room.
Hey, I don't know what's in there, but try not to stay away from me for too long, okay?
Alright, so we'll go in there. And there's our first ghost, but we don't want to worry about that. Instead, what we're going to do is get Loopy to move this the chair out of the way and open the door. And then we'll go ahead and scurry back to Mia. Once we're controlling Mia, we can go investigate that ghost, I believe. And you can see how heightened Loopy's senses are. Because while he could see the ghost, we clearly can't see anything there, but we can see the chair rocking back and forth. Alright, so wandering around the room. Oh wow, okay, yeah, there's definitely something crazy going on over there. I only actually think I walked on this balcony last time. But the other clue that we had was actually regarding this music sheet. So you look at this music sheet. It seems our final clue is actually based on the title of this music. And around this room, it just happens to be there's records shining thrown all across the floor. So we'll go and see if we can find the record tied to what we need. Alright, so that's Deja Vu. We're looking for Memoria Terrace? Is that what it's called? Timoris. Memoria Timoris. And that's just 13 minutes. That's our minute. So that's going to be our spot number 2 for our thing. And it looks like for this one, we're actually going to be looking at 3. So the answer isn't 13 minutes. The 13 minutes is just suggesting that this clue is for the minutes portion of what we need. So basically hours, minutes, seconds. So the hours is 4 because of the first number. Then minutes is going to be our second number, which is here. It's going to be 3. And then the second hand on the pocket watch we got was pointing towards the 11. So we need to go identify the symbols with the grandfather clock real quick. So if we look at this, we can see that the symbols for our 4 down there is that hexagon symbol. The 3 is the circle with some symbols inside of it, and our 11 o'clock symbol is that triangle, upside down triangle with a circle in it. So if we use that information, we might be able to open up the advanced lock downstairs. So let's go and check that one out. So using our newfound knowledge, we can actually go with the hexagon. Alright, and then the next one is going to be a circle with a whole bunch of, like an inner circle that's also got some information there, so I believe this is it. And our last one is going to be the triangle with the upside down circle. And like that, we have uncovered our solution for the advanced clock on the door. And I believe this gets us actually down to the basement. We came in from that side, but now we're down the stairs and we're coming in from the other side of the basement. Luckily, we were able to take out that guy. I do like the fact that you're able to keenly take out most of these guys before they are aware of you. Nothing there. Okay. Oh my god. This guy is immortal. We can, if we decide that we take too much damage, we can actually go ahead and heal up. We equip this. We can hold down R2 and heal ourselves. What I find really funny is that the heal does take quite a bit of time. So you do want to be careful of that. Hopefully we can sneak up on this guy. Okay, he's walking that way. So hopefully we can we do the same thing with this guy, or is he going to see us? Excellent. So he is out for the count. And that means we can unlock the door for the other side. So that's nice. Now we're into one last room here in the basement. Was there anything over here in the tables we could find? Doesn't look like it. Did it see us? Oh, it didn't even see us. Oh. Nice. That's nice for us. Looks like we found our paper on the floor. It's got 3 symbols. We gotta need to notice the symbols that are highlighted in the paper. That's gonna be very important here in a second. So that's the... Well, it's definitely not like a clock, but that right, bottom right, and the top left. Oh, there's even a door. I don't remember seeing that one at all. Oh, and that is actually the game doing the game thing. So now that we're back here, it looks like we're now looking at the start screen again. But now we can enter in different symbols. That is going to give us a new thing to like basically enter in. And just like that, we are going to be actually playing a different character. Alright, so after we put in the symbols, for some strange reason, we're now able to play in the role of, I assume, Verity. And Verity's got some pretty cool tricks up his sleeve. Looks like he comes up with a sword. He also has access to a pistol, which is pretty interesting. And we can make our way to the house, maybe see what happened to him. Oh, there are already blood zombies walking around. But unlike Mia, he can defend himself a lot better. I don't even know where he pulled Claire from. So he didn't even have to gun at the enemies. He can just run them down with a sword. And I believe the door is still going to be cut off. Yep. Or boarded up, rather. He can't even crouch. That's the thing. The other thing I noticed is that he's not in. He doesn't actually sneak up on enemies so easy. Funny thing as well with him is that he actually can't break any boxes or interact with anything. I guess it's kind of like sequence breaking for stuff from Mia. But this would also make sense as to why there are dead enemies already whenever she comes in here. This door is already open. Alright, that door is locked. So I'll head into the room where we last were playing Mia.
Tell me, Verity, what's the greatest fear of all?
What happened to you?
Things are so different when you know what... I always thought I would dread this moment. Dread the day you'd return. But fear? It's simply impossible when you know what's coming. Can you see that?
I don't care what's gonna happen. Every story needs an ending. And that's why I'm here, to put an end to all this. To save her.
Save her? You abandoned her to forget her. But I was not a coward like... I understood the prophecies of the Unhaunted One. I solved the enigma.
What have you done?
What have I done? I played my part. I will bring her back.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't want to know. I didn't come here looking for answers.
It's not your choice to make. But you clearly can't see that, huh? The Unhaunted One is waiting. It's time for me to complete my final objective.
So it looks like one of our old teammates, Callisto, is being driven in by the Cult of Fear.
Please,
Step
Not
aside.
a pretty good thing to
You don't
happen at all.
have to do this.
Alright, so immediately from the get-go, we do see that he can't swap items. Instead, he has the option of blocking with his weapon. I will say that combat has something to be desired, but it serves its purpose. But unlike Mia, he's clearly much more versatile.
Guess what I've learned?
Alright, let's see if we can chase it down.
Figured you would do that.
Where's it going? Oh. Alright, we try to race to him real quick.
It's funny, Verity. I was so anxiously waiting for this moment. And anxiety doesn't leave me even in my deathbed. Maybe you and she were right, you know.
Callisto.
I really should have gone easy on the coffee.
I still don't know why you made this choice.
Choice? You really don't get it, do you? Don't you remember anything? The unhaunted one? The vision? Sophia?
The only thing I've always known is that I'm going to die in this place. If that is what you call vision. But I didn't come all the way here to remember what happened. I came here to protect what matters most to me.
Yeah. That's very much like you. You always said that not all questions are meant to be answered. And I finally get it now. This part is not yours to play. The God of Fear is watching. I will see you on the other ending.
So this is actually a very key, important part of this. So if you remember correctly, we actually entered this room through Mia. This actually took me quite a while to figure out. And as we see, some enigmatic figure came in from a side door over here and seemed to have dragged Verity off. Now we can hear him being dragged. We don't know what's happening to him just yet, but I can only assume that this is him in this next scene. And I actually replayed this last segment a couple times, and replayed. You may wonder what do you mean by replay, and I'll show you in just a moment. So now that we are on this screen, this actually becomes your new start screen. Like traditionally it would just show you the emblem that had the blood symbols on there, but now we can actually see it looks to be Verity chained up. You can actually interact with these different parts of the chain on his limbs and actually pull at them. But if we actually just hit our confirm button, what it'll do is zoom in on the symbol that we've seen since the beginning of the game. And it's here that you're actually going to see we're literally able to enter in different combinations again. And over here in the bottom right hand corner, you're going to notice there's two different things going on. There's two different entries essentially. The blue symbols allow us to play as Mia again. The red symbols will also allow us to play as Verity again. If we were to go ahead and select the Verity symbols again, it's going to basically make us replay that segment we were just playing. Nothing new has happened, nothing pushes that story forward. However, now that we have an idea of what happened to Verity, we can actually go back to Mia, and something interesting is going to happen. So it's definitely, you can actually go back and forth between these, I guess, timelines essentially, and experience new things. So instead of starting the game over as Mia, what's going to end up happening here is we're going to start off where we left off with Mia. So you can see we were in this room, and if I were to interact with this, it would probably push me back out to the main menu. But we do know that over here, an enigmatic figure came through a door. If I were to hit that paper, it falls off.
What? How would I...
And like that, we are now on from the house and pushing on into what I consider probably be the part of the game where it really starts to get interesting. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So as we get over here further into the game, that door's not going to be open, I don't think. Oh, we can get in here, okay. We'll go ahead and sneak up. Let's see if we can sneak up on this guy right here. I believe there might even be one more. Is there? There is. Don't know if we're going to be able to sneak up on him. We'll find out. Excellent. And we'll see if there's anything else over here we can inspect. Looks like we have a perimeter medical report for someone, for Sofia Basat, Clisto Basat. It looks like pretty much all the team members that may have went missing, as well as several places called the Graveyard of Melodies, Crystal Cave, Spiral Castle, and the Underground. If we look at our map, we're actually in the place called the Underground, and we've inspected all the information in this room, so we're going to head out of this room and go to the next area. Alright, now that we're in here, is there any dead that we need to clear out? Does not look to be the case. And I more or less already have an idea of what we need to do here, but just to push the story forward so we don't waste too much time, we're going to interact with this radio.
Samuel? You guys there?
Sure thing, Mia. What's up?
Something wrong in the mansion?
Actually, I just found a place here. I think it's some kind of underground base for the Order. It's connected to the basement of the mansion. There's a lot of old equipment here, including a station that I'm using to talk to you now.
Yo, Agatha, that sounds like a good place for us to stay, eh?
Maybe. As soon as you stop fucking around with that computer and help me get the shit off the van, we'll get there.
You crazy. I'm just doing my damn job, yo.
Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to keep investigating the perimeter, and then I'll head back to the underground to talk to you guys.
Alright, so we can go ahead and investigate the rest of this room, but this is essentially going to be our hub for the next little foreseeable future. This is basically our next little safe area. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the story forward so we can get to the very interesting part, which is actually going to be a key concept of some of the activities you'll do in this game, or what I consider to be interesting. So we move over here, we're going to see a series of rooms. Each of these rooms have a lock pad on them. Unfortunately, we don't have the codes to those lock pads. And this basically tells us, basically whenever we find one of our clues here, that we need to basically reach out and find the other team members in order to get access to those doors. But if we come here, doesn't look like we have anything there. We got a keypad here, but there is also a note on the floor. And this note on the floor is a 3x3 grid. If we show our block light on it, it shows us that we have some spots filled in. So using that, what I decided to do is go from smallest number to biggest number. 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. Enter. And that was our code to get in. I don't know if any other combination works, but that seems to have worked. And coming in here is going to push the story forward for us.
Verity, initial mission report. Ground reconnaissance was more complicated than we had anticipated. This is no ordinary mission. We're not here just to destroy a creature, or put a stop to a cult gone mad. There is a mystery to this place. Something far greater than anything I've ever seen. It's as if everything is connected. As if all the surroundings in this place were pieces of a vast puzzle. While Callisto investigates the origin of the cult of fear in Straw Mansion, other agents have been sent to points of interest. I sent Letitia and her team to the Graveyard of Melodies, a place with a huge, luminous fissure. It seems to be the source of the mysterious song we can hear throughout the perimeter. Diogo and George were responsible for leading the team into that huge spiral castle containing a black ooze substance. How could anyone build such a massive structure in a place like this? Meanwhile, Oswald and Alan continued to carefully explore the Crystal Cave with their team, trying to avoid the presence of that huge bestial creature. It's dangerous, but they'll know what to do. Sophia and I believe we've already found the source of the paranormal in this place. And it's definitely not what we expected. This is a mission that needs to be carried out with caution. And we all have a part to play.
But now that we've done that, we can actually head back, and Samuel and Agatha will have moved into that room over there. But another important clue here is that we need to find a map that's basically going to give us an idea of which directions we need to go in. One of the last rooms opened up, I believe, might have a map of basically the grounds itself. So, I don't think I'm there yet. I can't remember exactly where the map is, but essentially this set of stairs will actually lead us back above ground, and from there we kind of have a run-of-the-mill list, or run-of-the area to try to figure out where it is that we want to go to next. Let me see if I can find that map. I want to say that it's somewhere nearby. You can try all these doors too if you would like. I believe this is the door we just opened. Was there a map in here that maybe I missed? I don't think so. Because I believe I cleared this room. Yes, okay, I cleared this room. So maybe it's back in the room with Samuel and Agatha. So we'll head on back to their direction. And we'll do something really cool before we close out the video. Oh, Samuel and Agatha are not here yet. Okay. Well, let me see if I can explore a couple more things. Maybe we gotta go in this room. This is actually going to be the thing we interact with here in a moment. That is not a glitch happening on your screen. This is actually a cursed item, and it causes glitch, realistic or like real life glitches in the game, and that's going to be a really interesting thing to look at. So this is the cursed item, in particular, they're talking about the one we were just looking at. Oh, nope, don't want to do that. Let's see if they've showed up yet. If anything, I might have to go outside. I can't remember if I had to go outside or not. Let's go check that out. Oh, I believe the map is here. Here's the map. Okay. So when we look at the map, we can actually see the different directions. So the castle's there, the cave there, and the graveyard there. And it's showing like hallways there, but we also have this central staircase that we can look at as well. Is there anything up here on the platform? Just another picture. Doesn't look like we have any clues there. He will come back. He's talking about Callisto. Okay, now that we've done that, let's see if we can go trigger our friends coming into here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if going upstairs does it, because we can't get into any of the other rooms. I'll even check this note I saw on this. That is the original team. Let's head outside. And you can see here, this points down to the underground. We can even pick up ourselves some ammo there if we want. And we can actually bring up the map. So over here, based off the directions, this is going to be the way to the Crystal Caves. This is going to be the way to the graveyard. I can't remember, the graveyard of lights or whatever they said it was. And this one's going to be the way to the Spiral Castle. Oh, this isn't Crystal Caves because we are at this is where we're at currently. Just based off the crude drawing, kind of picturing it off this wall right here. So I'm assuming if we went Crystal Cave, it's probably down this way then instead. So now that we've done this, I'm going to go back inside and see if our friends have shown up. I don't know specifically what triggers them, but I thought it was going into that first room. Okay, so Agatha's here.
Hey Mia, this place is the shit.
Hey, Agatha.
Clearly a fuckload of shit went down here. This will be the perfect place for us to crash and help you out. By the way, I needed to show you something. Not sure if you've seen it, but there's a cursed item in here. It's that weird raven skull on a piece of wood. Fucking badass.
Cursed item? What?
I still don't have a clear idea. The way this thing is cursed seems different. Never seen anything like it before. I noticed that there was this guy called Callisto who was also trying to do the same research on this. But get this, I was showing this skull to Samuel earlier, and he started complaining that there was this bug on his screen, or some nerd shit like that. I think these cursed items might have something secret about them. You should talk to Samuel later, if you haven't already. Oh, and if you want to see it for yourself, I left the thing right where it was, in the room next door. If we want to try to make sense of this, I'm gonna need a favor from you, Mia.
Sure thing, Aggie. Just tell me.
If you find any other items that might have this bizarre effect, it'll be much easier for us to understand what this is. Samuel was messing around with the old computers from the Order, and he found something about other items in the perimeter. But I couldn't understand shit. He's the only one who could deal with this old crumbling pieces of junk. So keep an eye out. If you find any items like this, come down to the underground and give them to us.
Okay, got it. Do you have any idea what you're going to do with them?
Normally, you could use cursed items to transcend and contact the other side. You up for it?
I knew this was coming. You know what my dad would say if he saw you asking me to do that, right?
I know. It was worth a try.
Alright, so now that we talked to her, she's given us an idea about cursed items that we might find and different ways to interact with them.
What up, Mia?
Hey, Sam.
Man, what a place. Mad dusty. Everything's abandoned and falling apart here, but now that we've brought everything from the van here, I guess we'll have to make this place work. I'll talk to Agatha about us staying here to help out.
Well, it sure beats staying outside. Anyway, maybe you can find a broom around here.
Damn, Mia, it's bad in here. But it's not so bad that I would want to clean up, you know? Anyway, have you talked to Agatha yet? She wanted to talk to you about a cursed item we found down here. Yo, it's bizarre. She came to show me this thing earlier, and when she got close to it, strange things started appearing on the computer. These symbols just kept appearing on the screen. She thinks there's something hidden in these items. And the thing is, I think I can do something with them in the system.
I'll have to think about whether I've seen these symbols somewhere.
Alright, so now that we've done that, it's actually probably one of my favorite parts of the game right here that I've seen so far. It's probably going to be a good stopping point whenever we do it. So we come over here, the computer is now working, which we weren't able to use it before. It was turned off, but with Samuel bringing his gear, everything is turned on. Now if you notice, the symbol on our screen is very familiar to us. It's the one at the beginning of the start screen, and it's got new symbols highlighted. So how do we interact with this? Because as of right now, we can't do anything with it other than shine a black light on it. It's not going to do anything for us. So the first part is we can actually pause and go back to the main menu. Going back up to the main menu is actually going to bring us back to our, basically our symbol here. And now with the new information we have, it's turned green, and now we get to play as Samuel instead. And I really like this idea that you can actually hop back and forth between characters, inputting new symbols into this etching, I guess. And there's a reason why we actually want to play as Samuel here in a second. And that is because now that we played with Samuel, or now that we are playing with Samuel, you'll see that we can actually see in the inventory up here the cursed object, specifically the one that's in the other room, the Raven Skull. So, if we look at that, it looks like we have something that says go through the maze, and it wants us to put an answer. We actually have a keyboard, and we can actually type stuff in there. Unfortunately, we don't need the answer yet, so what we need to do is we actually need to go investigate the Raven Skull in the other room. And this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So whenever we interact with this, you'll see that we have now options at the bottom of the screen. We can hit right bumper, and it's going to open up our laptop Samuel has in his hand, and it's going to show us a whole bunch of stuff that's very hard to understand. This is where we're introduced to probably one of my favorite mechanics in gaming that I've seen in recent memory. I'm going to use my mouse for this one. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of lines of code, but one of the other things it has, it also says local directory, common, and something called Labyrinthus. Now, it took me a very long time to figure this out. I'll actually credit a YouTuber. I can't remember the name of the YouTuber's name, but I will go back into the videos that I saw recently, and he actually showed me what this game was expecting to do. So essentially what this is actually telling you to go specifically into the game files of the game itself. So I already have it opened up here. I'm actually going to drag it up on the screen. This is actually the game files for Enigma of Fear. And in here you can see that it wants us to go to the Labyrinthus file. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Labyrinthus. And then we have a series of files named different things. This one is called Crev Straw. So I'm going to go Crev Straw. And we can double click on this executable file. And in doing so, we're going to have a new puzzle pop up. And this is crazy to me. This is actually a thing in the game. So what's going to happen is whenever we click on a symbol, we have the ability to basically decipher what that symbol might be. And as you can see, we put A here, and it went and filled in this one symbol right here with an A all across the board. So if I click on this little symbol right here, and hit B on it, it'll also do B. But you can see that they're red. The problem is, this is not right, obviously. And the clue is to try to figure out what the secret password is using this as a cipher. So the best way to do this, I found, is basically, if you're unfamiliar with it, we can actually click each of these letters, and it'll actually turn green whenever you have the correct letter on there. If it turns yellow, so if I were to go, let's say, hit an M, it means that that's the incorrect letter, but that letter is still able to be used for a different portion of the puzzle. So, using this information, I'm going to go ahead and speed up a little bit. After much trialing and error, by just going through all this, I was able to find out, trying to remember what it's, let's see, is it N? No, it's M, nope. There we go, it's a U. I believe this is M, and our last letter is going to be N. And that was just literally me going symbol by symbol, and clicking on each one until they turn green. So with that being said, you see we now have ourselves the entire thing filled out. It is then there that we actually have to deduce what the password is, the answer for the Raven Skull here. And if you can see here, it looks like the letters repeat over and over again, but starting with the very first letter here, we got Principium. And then it goes over and over again. So Principium. And Principium is actually apparently Latin for fresh beginning or a new start. So we're actually going to take that. I'm actually going to close that out. I'm going to take back over from my controller. And what we're going to do, we're going to head on back over to the computer. And we're going to bring up our keyboard. And I'm actually just going to type this out with our Principium. Hit enter.
It worked. But what was that all about?
So if you see over here on screen, we have a entry here in different symbols. If we actually were to go ahead and use it as a cipher, we'd be able to figure out the cipher for that as well. Although I have not figured that portion out, we have now basically solved the Raven Skull. And there are a whole bunch of other artifacts throughout the game that you can find that have different puzzles of their own. It's not going to be the same thing over and over again, which is really freaking cool to me. That makes this probably one of the most interesting games I've ever seen in my entire life as far as like things you can do. Unfortunately, Samuel can't really go exploring out on his own, so what we need to do is we need to jump back over to Mia. So if I go back over to the menu, I get to begin, I can hit her letters, and as you can see right there in the bottom right hand corner, they are color coordinated towards the characters. So the green ones are Samuel, the red ones are Verity, and the blue ones are Mia. And then we're back in the game as Mia, and then we are free to go to our next destination. The Graveyard of Melodies, I believe, would be our next destination. But I am going to go ahead and stop there. I just more or less wanted to showcase what I find to be probably one of the most interesting games I've seen in a good long while. It has some paranormal in there. It has some, you know, horror, like survival horror type elements in there, and it has some great like investigation, puzzle solving things to do as well. So that being said, if you like this sort of content and you want to see more games like Enigma of Fear here on the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you think of the game. And until next time, you guys take care, and I will catch you all in my next video. Later.